Bzzz. I'm copper. This is malfunction. And you're wire.
I am the wire.
You don't understand, Skylar.
No, I'm just.
You think you
agreeing
are
with
in Wire.
No.
I am the Wire.
No, that's Breaking Bad. The Wire is a completely different
No,
show.
the only thing that's
The
breaking is the microphone.
Isn't that like a news show?
I think so. I don't know anything about The Wire.
I don't know. I'm not a boomer.
What?
I don't watch TV shows.
I thought
look,
the Wire is like for boomers.
No, you're not a boomer. You're a banger. Because you were around when the Big Bang happened.
I mean, you're right, but that's a side point.
You watched that shit happen. It was like a firework going off for you, bro.
I love the visual of just like some old ass man sitting on a lawn chair. He looks up, all of existence comes to be. Looks down, shrugs. It's some fireworks. You've seen one, you've seen them all.
I imagine you in like a
kids
lawn
and their
chair of some kind,
fireworks.
and you're just sitting there with like a bowl of popcorn or something, and you're just literally watching everything come into existence. Just home.
But
Well, anyways, let's get more formally acquainted. We have new microphones. You might notice it in our quality.
I would strain the term quality.
Well, it's quality
With
right
this
now.
podcast.
Are we leading with this?
Yeah.
Okay, so as the wire holder, I'd like to describe the situation, and then you guys can get into the technical details.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so right now, we have 3 microphones set up for the first time instead of a centerpiece microphone, which we all shout into. And this is awesome. This is really cool. We're all thrilled with that. We
This is
set the
pretty
mics
epic.
up.
High quality. We're taking a jump into professional recording.
Yeah, we finally got a big enough audience. We felt comfortable enough to
We went from-
invest.
We went from
Schizophrenia.
2 to 4.
Oh, that's like doubled. Anywho,
We're doing numbers.
Anywho, we set the mics up. We were all excited, and we were getting a weird feedback thing.
It was like, bzzz.
And we found out that one of the mics is malfunctioning. But if we wrap a copper wire around the top
Yeah.
and someone holds it, the feedback doesn't make it to the audio recording.
I'd just like to say, by the way, why did you just have copper wire lying around? Like, I literally looked to my left, and on that shelf was just some copper wire.
I like to do home improvement.
Really?
You rent!
Home
I didn't say it was
He's
my home.
taking it out of the wall.
I didn't
No.
say it was my home.
Straight up balling.
In all seriousness, no, I just got that from my dad.
Oh.
They were doing some home improvement on their house, and
Oh, that kind of home.
and
I
Dad-
figured
yeah. Dad
copper
hooked
wire
you
is
up, bro.
always good to have. See example, Tommy's microphone.
Yeah, we bought these blue Sparks, right? They're nice XLR microphones, nice
Ooh,
with
the
heavy
good stuff.
quotations.
Mhm.
These two, the ones Spence and I are using, are perfectly fine. But that one right there, it's like if we don't have that copper wire attached, it has this weird frequency to it, and if you press on the blue logo, it kind of explodes. We're not going to do that right now.
No.
You sure?
No,
Maybe
we're
the
not going
listeners
to
at home would
torture
like
the
to
people
know.
at home.
Maybe they'd like
Okay,
to know.
no,
we
they
we could
wouldn't.
give them one example.
One
we can do
example?
exactly one.
Exactly
Don't do
one.
it.
All right, everyone, brace yourselves.
Yeah.
Skip ahead 30 seconds if you
anyone
don't want to hear an
listening with
explosion.
headphones, please take them off.
Yeah, just everybody. I'm gonna count
Sound
down.
warning.
Okay, ready?
I'm gonna let go of the wire at 5. Okay.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so
Yeah,
that's
that
the
is the
kind
fir-
of
that's the
quality equipment we're
That's,
working
that's
with.
the quality that Blue provides.
Oh
Look at
my.
that.
Oh boy.
That is. I'm gonna have to clip fix that.
Yeah, that looked like a porcupine.
What do you mean?
Like a
fix
fat
that?
porcupine.
It's fine.
It clipped
You gotta.
clipped
Of course it clipped.
off the audio.
It's a fucking loose connection in the microphone.
So we have one now on order to replace this one, and we're getting this one sent back. But just for the time being, for basically this episode, we have to have Tommy holding a copper wire connected around the top of the microphone because there's bare metal there, and we found out if you touch the bare metal, you ground the microphone and thus stop
there
the
is
feedback.
a non-zero amount of voltage currently going through Tommy and the microphone right now.
I wanted to put it in a shot glass, but these guys were like, "No, it'd make a short."
No, you didn't specify a shot glass full of water.
Yeah,
Last time I checked, the water and electricity don't mix.
it'll be fine.
I'm not an
No.
electrician, but like at the same time, I wouldn't do that.
On top of that, we
Maybe
also
if
got
it was
this
like not
really-
my microphone or not our microphones, if it was like a microphone we found on the side of the road and it had no name or phone number on the side of it, I would plug it in and then
Trevor,
dip it in water.
Are you gonna
This
are
hypothetical.
you gonna put your name
In
and phone
Minecraft and
number
GTA.
on your microphone?
I might.
But anyway, on top of that, we also got this nice new audio interface. Nice metal.
Yeah, this one doesn't have a loose wire in it, so it doesn't provide feedback. That's a very good thing.
Yeah, it is. It's very good.
If you want, if you guys want, if we hit 1,000 followers, we'll put this mixer in a bucket of water and see what happens.
And then
We'll
once
try and
we,
record the podcast.
and then once
on
we
it.
do that, a lucky listener, we'll take a
randomly
random.
ship you defunct electronics.
We'll,
And the bucket.
we'll send you this
Yes.
audio interface.
The bucket too.
At 1,000 followers, we'll send a random person this audio interface. That's after it's been dipped in a bucket of water.
It's actually not a super unrealistic goal. I won't lie.
Oh,
Yeah.
should we sign it?
Yeah,
We'll sign it for you too.
it's ridiculous.
It'll be
boy.
worth even less. Any.
So that's the pre-recording shenaniganery.
Yeah, we spent almost 2 hours figuring this out.
It was wild.
Because, okay, to be fair, we are kind of like Neanderthals banging rocks together over here. This is the first time we've ever
mean,
used XLR.
In all fairness, it's not like an issue that we can personally solve without voiding our warranty, of course, and that's just not something that we want to do.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's also another thing, like, again, I say, this is the first time we've dealt with XLR. Our old mic was like a blue Yeti mic that was USB. It just plugged and played. This one, you have to have the audio interface, the cables to it, the connector from the interface to the computer. Like, there's a lot more technical, and then you also have to set up the...
I don't know. In a sense, it kind of feels like when... It's like when you learn how to perfectly cycle abilities in a MOBA for like 5% extra damage. You know what I mean? It's very marginal returns, it feels like. At least in comparison to all the work we had to do to get it up and going, only for that mic to turn into a fire hazard.
I don't
But
know what you're
with-
talking about. If my tingling arm means anything, this
Is your
setup is
arm
working
tingling?
perfectly.
You should
your arm
wrap it around your
tingling?
cock
Absolutely.
next time.
It is?
Yeah,
Like, how tingly?
like it's falling asleep because I'm leaning on it because I have to hold a wire tingly. Not
Oh.
like electricity's actively
I was-
zapping me.
I was
tingling.
curious.
You should just wrap it around your cock.
That would be...
See what happens. What?
Anyway.
Well,
Tom-
it's a great idea.
Tommy, what's our next topic?
Dude,
All right, Trevor, you wanted to rank the letters of the alphabet on S to F tier?
absolutely. This won't be confusing at all.
Okay,
okay.
I think S is an easy S tier.
No.
No,
Pull
no.
up the paper. We're gonna need it for this.
No.
Okay, so
okay.
first things
So-
first.
So let's just start from
Just-
A
just
and go all the
no.
way to Z.
All right,
Okay.
A, instantly D tier.
Why?
Because it's overhyped.
No, A is a great vowel. I will fight you on this. It's B tier.
Guys,
A is in B.
you guys are both wrong. All vowels by default belong in A tier because without them the language falls apart.
No, how do you think we got Fipplethip?
Well, I think all the vowels are minimum above C.
All the vowels have to
They're
be
above average.
all the vowels have to be at least A tier because
fine.
they form every word.
However, I think if that's the case, then A is an S tier. Because
is an
there
S
are
tier?
worse vowels.
There
Like
are worse
I.
vowels.
So
So
foreshadowing, I is
No.
lower tier.
so
I
A
would
is an
put
S
A.
tier.
Shaking up the
as-
meta.
E
B tier.
is an S tier too.
Okay. No. I said A to Z. We're going down the alphabet. We're not skipping into vowels and then consonants.
Oh my
We're
god.
Okay, so A is an S tier.
Okay.
All right, write that down.
I don't want to.
All right.
Is everyone in agreement? A is an S tier.
Yes.
I
Okay.
would disagree, but majority rules here.
B.
B is in B tier.
No, I think B is more of a C.
I could go D. I could go to D.
I'm biased.
Yeah, you
Just
could.
Just like B, I'm going to put it in A.
B for bias.
No.
I like the letter B.
I like the sound of B, but it's not
Buh.
S
Drop
tier.
that beat.
Metro boom and make it boom.
What the fuck?
Bless you.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's just a rap song.
Okay, thank you for that.
So again, I say B is A tier.
I feel my hair
If
is
A
starting
is
to
S-
singe from holding this copper wire. I
He's
think there's
exaggerating.
smoke
He's
coming
not.
off of-
He's not a torture victim.
Okay.
He can
Saying
let
that
go
for
at any
legal
time
reasons.
he wants.
Wow.
It just becomes cursed.
Yeah, but if I do the recording of Jigsaw we have, will like sound on and like detonate a landmine somewhere near.
Yeah. Speaking of jigsaw puzzles and Torment, C. I think C belongs in A tier
I think C is
Why?
an S tier.
because both its hard and soft pronunciations are pretty cool.
Hear me
It's
out.
like
Heck,
"K"
cool.
and "s." Yeah.
Hear me out. C belongs in S tier because it's so attractive. It's stolen 3 other letters' jobs.
I have to agree. I
Ooh,
think it's the S tier.
I think the only reason why it sits in A tier instead of S tier is because the design is so simple. So like even though it's a flexible letter, it's not quite.
Wait,
Have you
how do
seen
I
we're
put it?
ranking
Eloquent
how
enough.
the letters look aesthetically.
We're ranking the fucking letters.
I
Trevor,
thought
have
we
you
were
s-
ranking their like roles in the language.
We're ranking them off of whatever we want.
This is
if
such
that-
a stupid fucking
Okay.
No,
idea.
that's why I
Okay.
brought it. It's funny.
That just reminded me because I didn't even take this into consideration.
Ah.
B has to go to S tier
Why?
because it looks like a giant pair of titties.
Ooh, that's a good point.
S
Never mind,
tier.
it's an S
How
tier.
the fuck is that a good
Okay, D.
D.
F tier.
D is in C tier.
F tier.
YF.
It's just not.
You think it's boring, huh?
It's not a very useful letter. No.
What about the word dingus? I can't.
Dingus, dongus,
I can't say kingus.
But you can say bingus.
double
I can
dingus.
say bingus.
What about dong?
What about dick?
You can say.
Dollar.
It's about
You can
drive.
say
It's
big.
about drive, it's about power.
God damn it. If we spend a minute on every letter, everybody will shut the fucking stream off.
Okay, can we just say all the vowels are S tier then?
We already did.
Except for Y. Y is D tier.
Why?
Is Y a vowel?
Yes,
Sometimes.
sometimes.
I know the rhyme goes. Yeah, I know how the rhyme goes, and then
A,
it
I, O,
ends.
U, and sometimes Y.
And W.
Can element
What?
OP...
Sometimes Y and W.
Okay,
Since when has
Hear
W
me
been a
out.
vowel?
Let's skip ahead a little
Oh.
bit. Can element OP, like just the collection of those letters, be like F tier?
Ooh, no, absolutely not. First of all, O is in S tier, so you
No.
can't put the collection of letters collectively.
Okay, skipping O.
Okay, we're jumping
And then,
around.
well, no,
here.
M is in B tier because it's really
What?
close to looking like a B.
We're really
What?
jumping around
If you
here.
flip an M sideways and then put a line where the 3 arches end, it's a B.
Can E be an E tier?
Yeah, because it can also turn into a B. Okay, naturally Z is an S tier because it's actually a cousin of S.
Z is in F tier because it's like got 0 use.
No, like the
Zero.
3
Ah.
letters before it are.
What? No. Y is an amazing letter because you can add ly to the end of like any
W,
word.
X, and Y. Well, Y is just straight up F tier. I'm
Y
sorry.
Y is A tier.
Y doesn't know what it is.
Y is goaded with the sauce. If
Why?
C, Y.
Why?
Listen,
Okay,
If
Why?
C gets S tier by stealing all those letters' jobs, so should Y because Y makes so many sounds.
Okay,
and you can add an
counterpoint-
ly to anything to make it into a new word.
Y.
Wiley.
And also, just that's a good point. Why?
Y.
A tier.
A tier.
Absolutely.
I think Y should go in undetermined tier, where there's like several question marks and just the word Y
Can-
next to it.
Can G
It's
be
in
an
its own
S?
tier.
Can G be an S plus plus because everything good in life starts with the letter G?
G is in
Hear
D
me
tier.
out. Hear me out, Spence. I know you're looking at me
Go
weird. All
on.
right. Everything good in life starts with the letter G.
titties.
No, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Gambling,
No.
No.
goth girls,
Eh.
gay black oily men,
No.
golden
Personally,
Freddy,
no.
golden Freddy.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
get this guy off the
S-
oven.
Triple
Get this
plus
guy
S tier.
out of the kitchen.
I
He has
was-
cooked too much.
I was trying to let you cook, but you just burned.
You just burned the entire chicken, all right?
No, your
you
hand
burned
is
the entire
burning from the
rotisserie
contact
chicken.
with that copper wire.
We
You
said let him cook, and you blew up the oven
Trevor,
with
he's the one
napalm.
holding the copper wire.
You know what? Q is the worst letter in the alphabet.
I think it might be J.
J is the second worst.
Just to be contrarian, I'm gonna say it's the opposite of that.
I'm going to have to
No,
agree with Tommy.
dude, J isn't even in the
J
top
is-
50%.
J
Change
is
my
the
mind.
worst. Q is low, but it's not the worst.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's,
U.
Q is
The
quaint.
letter U.
U is a vowel. It's automatically an S tier.
But I don't like that vowel as much as the other
Oh,
vowels.
so now.
Are we forgetting any letters?
Yes, we've
Oh,
had
we've
several,
skipped
but
around.
the
I
thing...
said A to C, and then I instantly ditched that about 5 minutes
And then you
in.
started talking about Z and Y and elemental P.
It's more fun this way.
Trevor, why would anyone want to listen to us rank the letters of the fucking alphabet?
Oh no, I wasn't gonna legitimately take it seriously. I just thought it'd be a fun point to talk about.
Okay, P is an S plus 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 tier.
No, because G is above it.
No, P has to be better. You know why?
Why?
Because it's perfect.
Boo.
Not as perfect as gambling. Keep gambling.
Oh my god.
It's gonna work.
Think of that image of the middle-aged dude with a pickaxe, and he's walking away, and there's a 2-foot wide wall of dirt, and right behind it is a bunch of diamonds. That's you when you stop gambling.
Just as a PSA, we do not by any means endorse or encourage gambling at all.
In Minecraft and GTA
Complimentary
5,
Mania does not condone.
copper
gambling of
malfunctioning
any
wire does not
We do
condone
not.
gambling.
We do not
Copper
suggest
malfunctioning
gambling.
wire.
You gamble at your own risk.
You
And
should
most of the
seek help.
time, it's gonna be a loss. It's a
Unless you
tax on
win, and
stupid
then you
people,
win
I'm
big,
sorry.
and then you buy everything you want.
Casinos don't want you to know this, but if you gamble a lot, you will never make your money back.
Casinos don't want you to know this. The food
What?
is free. You just run in and eat the food, and you run away.
I completely encourage stealing from casinos in Minecraft,
yes.
in GTA.
All right,
We do
guys,
not condone stealing.
ultimate plan, infinite food and drink glitch, okay? You go in, fake mustache, gamble on penny slots. We're talking literally putting a penny in the machine and gambling. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. You get $20 worth of food. You leave after playing for about an hour. You've spent $2 or $3 worth of pennies. You come back in, different colored mustache, maybe some new glasses. You keep getting served food. Infinite food and money glitch.
They
Not
don't
money.
serve
Water.
you food like that.
Yeah, they do. You just got to keep gambling.
No, you go to the restaurant.
I've never been in a
there.
casino.
Yeah, you're talking like someone who's been exclusively to the casinos in GTA.
I have. I remember those days. I have never peaked my mic so much. Losing a hand of blackjack. You have no idea how many hundreds of thousands of dollars I've lost at those tables.
I might peek this mic. Imagine if I hit the funny
No,
logo.
no, blue balls, Micah, blue ball. No.
Don't press the blue button.
I won't press the blue button.
No, this content's peak.
This
Can
content
we
is
move on?
Yeah, we can move on. I
Okay.
just thought it'd be funny.
Okay, Trevor, you wanted to talk about vehicles and personality types, stereotypes.
All right. Listen, everyone. When you see a certain type of vehicle, you can almost practically guess who's behind that wheel. Because specific drivers tend to attract towards specific vehicles. And I have a list of 4. 4 vehicles.
All
Get
right.
ready for this.
First vehicle.
2010 Hyundai Elantra.
2010 Hyundai Elantra. Let me.
I
Tommy,
mean,
go
do you-
ahead and
do you
pull
know
it up.
what? Do you know what a Hyundai Elantra looks like? I'll pull it up.
I'm imagining some kind of ancient Japanese goddess with like a shield and a sword, and she says, "Elantra, Elantra, let down your hair."
That's really funny. It isn't even close. You are absolutely blowing this out of
So-
proportion.
Oh, that's a really ugly tiny car. I'm picturing a college stoner.
So first things first. Is it damaged?
It can be.
I'm
Give me the perspective
because-
of both.
I'm
my-
picturing a stoner in college.
I'm thinking of kid's first car.
Oh,
Kid's
Wait.
first car, or if it's in pristine condition, Grandma just accessed her Social Security, and she's balling out by getting this absolute fucking ugly bucket of bolts.
Yeah, this is just ugly looking. Dear Lord, that rivals the Chevy Cruze.
Let me take a look. I know what they look like, but I really want
go.
to soak it in. Yeah,
Like that
like that is the lamest car ever.
it is very
It's
bland.
not even quite like it's ugly. You know what I mean? It's just lame. It's lame. The nerdy kid would pull up to high school in that, and like the jock would throw a football at it, break the rear window, and go, "Fucking loser."
Hey, Trevor.
What?
You were the nerdy kid.
Oh,
in
I'm
high
not
school.
saying I'm free of that judgment. It's just like,
You know,
it's
funny.
a lame ass car.
It's
I
funny to
would
look
drive it. If
back.
I was given one of those for free, I'd drive the shit out of it.
It's
'cause-
funny to look back on those days and like think, how in the world were they able to sell a car that looks like that? That looks ugly. Nobody would buy that nowadays. But the thing was-
perspectives change.
But the thing was, that was the hotness back in those days. Or if not hot, those were definitely
lukewarm
fuel
at
efficient.
best.
Let me add some sharp
were
angles and the
economies.
Tesla logo, and I will sell 500,000 of them.
Maybe.
All right, next
Next
car.
one. All right, get ready for this, guys. 2008 Dodge Caliber.
Ooh,
Okay, I'm picturing literal Oblivion horse armor.
Tommy, your mind works in such wondrous ways. I cannot even begin to comprehend what extents it goes to.
Well, you said 2008.
2008 Dodge Caliber.
Yeah, I was picturing.
So-
You know
horse
what I
armor.
picture when I see this? I see the overworked Mexican single father of three that's just trying to keep the bills afloat.
So funny enough, my boss had one of these back when I worked.
Was he
in
an
Texas.
overworked Mexican father?
No, he was just a white guy. We called him Leroy.
Close enough.
He had one of these. It's a hatchback. For those at home that don't know what a Dodge Caliber
So
is.
blocky.
It-
It looks like a car you'd find in a Minecraft mod.
I have no stereotypes that come to mind when I look at this car.
It honestly kind of reminds me of a Subaru Outback.
I look at it and I think, yes,
Now-
a car.
Because that's like 4-door hatchback.
Now, the Hyundai Elantra feels like the car-y car. This feels like someone couldn't make up their mind whether they wanted an SUV or a sedan.
You know whose car this is?
I would beg to differ.
Oh.
It's more.
This is Ant-Man from the Avengers movies car.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I was gonna say someone couldn't decide between a minivan and an SUV.
Well, that's true. It's like kind of a station wagon, but not really.
This is Paul Rudd's
It's-
car.
Honest.
Kinda, yeah.
Now there's a couple pictures on here on Google of it being like lowered and with like the SRT4 package. It doesn't look
Well,
too
sure,
bad.
you could get the SRT,
but
but
the
in
thing
that
is,
fucking...
just the basic one. It's. I mean,
wouldn't be surprised if Jack Black in the upcoming Minecraft movie whipped around in that shit.
It's 2008. It's a 2008 car. Take that as you will.
In the
I'm-
Minecraft movie, Jack Black will be whipping around in a minecart.
And that's the
So-
minecart, the 2008 Dodge Caliber.
Stereotype to add to that,
Ooh.
I would say wage slavey.
Wage slavey. Okay, in all fairness, all the
With-
cars I have on here are wage slavey.
With
I didn't exactly
No.
put gas on here.
now I'm a
Guys,
little.
Yeah, you did.
drop a Lamborghini Huracan?
Now I'm-
guesses? Sorry, you go ahead.
No,
bud.
you're good. I was just about to say I know somebody who has one of these, so I'm really kind of the only thing I can think of is him. But basically, I'm saying like middle management, just general manager, not like the big general manager, just like a manager of like a pizza joint. That's manager of a pizza joint is basically what I would say that looks like.
All right, PewDiePie clap. I can't clap because I'm holding a copper wire in one of my hands. But next car.
Next
Car
car.
review.
All right, this one isn't exactly a car. 2014 Nissan Titan.
Okay, you
This is
know,
a
you know the
truck.
Pacific Rim movies.
Okay.
I'm picturing one of the robots. Oh, okay. That's
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't one of our friends want one of these?
Doesn't
God,
one of
I
our
hope
friends
not.
drive one of these?
No.
No,
No, we got a buddy
No.
that drives a Silverado.
That's different.
Spanky here drives a Ram.
Oddly,
What does Fatal Rangers drive?
that's the
That's
Silverado.
a Silverado.
That's the Silverado.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. What's
But I think he's the one that wants one of these.
Ruggy drive?
He drives essentially the same vehicle Spence does, but
Okay.
instead it's a Hemi.
Okay. I've never codenamed our friends before. I've just randomly called
Okay, to
them
be
out
fair,
by
we've
first
referenced
name.
Blaine and Chase on here.
Yeah,
Just straight up.
We have, but I had to codename two of our friends.
I mean, to be fair, we only name drop their first name.
yeah, that's
Doesn't
fair.
specify. Now, this one here,
This is for the low-wage worker that has an ego that's higher than most internet celebrities.
they wanted a truck, but they didn't want to spend the money for, like, a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge.
They needed something to haul around their big fucking head,
And,
but couldn't afford anything that's actually good.
and it doesn't have four-wheel drive. It is two-wheel drive.
On a truck, by the way.
As not a car guy, I'm looking at this truck, and I guess the interiors are bad, but I don't.
It's a Nissan. You can automatically assume that they're bad. I'm sorry. I am very biased. I used to have a Pathfinder to those at home, and I hated it so much. It was the biggest pile of crap I've ever owned.
This one's a little bit newer.
You used to
It's got a
piggyback
CVT.
on that robot from Apex?
Hey, did your Pathfinder? Oh yeah, I get it. I get the reference.
Trevor, you were saying?
Sorry, I'm losing my mind. Funny Apex game.
I'm losing my mind.
But no, back to
Skylar, I am the Pathfinder.
Jesse, get in the trunk. I am the Pathfinder.
Jesse, what the fuck is this? I said get us a truck, not a Nissan.
Jesse, zipline deployed.
Jesse, the CVT's gone. We've driven 60,000 miles, and the transmission's done.
So this truck is supposed to be a shitty truck, so I have a stereotype
It's
for
not
it now.
supposed
It's
to
not
be, but it
shitty.
is because it's Nissans and their CVTs are terrible.
I have a stereotype. You know how in every movie ever, cars have the worst luck and they'll just like randomly get taken out as a piece of collateral damage?
Yes.
This is that car.
Damn, that's
Collateral damage car.
Yeah.
This is the one that they run over in the big street chase.
Mhm.
This is the car that they slam into when they.
This is
fall
one
off
of the
the
two
ceiling.
vehicles they select to put under the monster trucks at Monster Rally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a really
Guaranteed.
Guarantee it. I
it makes a
guarantee
really
it.
nice
I
crunch
guarantee it.
sound.
Yeah. I'm sure it does, but yeah.
Anyway, back to the stereotypes. Did we decide on one?
I mean, we don't have to come to a collective. It's whatever everyone thinks.
I would say I would agree with the guy with an ego wanted a truck instead of a car or SUV. Like
It's
he had
definitely a
before.
younger individual, a younger male
Younger individual that wears a
slams monsters.
flat bill.
This Kyle drives this.
It's a typical Kyle with a flat bill hat.
Kyle drives this, and like he's on his third transmission.
It's got rod knock.
Yes, absolutely.
It
Well,
has-
I think they come out of the factory like that.
It comes factory standard with rod knock.
The fuck is rod knock?
Okay, so you know when an engine you hear it go tick 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 tick, right?
I've heard that. Yeah.
You hear that ticking sound whenever the engine speeds up and whatnot. That's rod knock.
I just assumed the terrorists put a bomb in my car.
No, no,
Interesting.
no. You don't even have a car.
That would be wild, wouldn't it, if they bombed it?
You don't even
Shut
have
up. That episode's over. Shut the fuck up. We're not going back to talking about that.
Anyway,
I wasn't bringing that up. You're the one who brought that up.
Those who know.
Those
Anyway.
who know Stillwater.
Mango.
that is rod knock, and it just has an ungodly amount of it. You can hear it coming around, and you just like, oh great, it's him.
Hey, question.
Yo,
Did the Pathfinder have a CVT?
it did.
That in an 08?
Yeah.
No shot. I thought Nissan started after like 2012 putting CVTs in.
I thought
Let me
CVT
look it
was
up.
like
Hold on,
street security
I'm doing
footage.
some live.
No, that's
that's
CCTV.
Thank you.
I could see dyslexic head.
I was so confused for a second. I'm like, isn't that a street thing? I didn't know they made those for cars. Isn't that called dash cam? The fuck's going on here?
God damn it. The CVT stands for, I believe it's controlled variable transmission. It's a belt-driven transmission. So instead of having actual manual gears, you have 2 slidey wheels, and a belt sits on those wheels, and it slides between the bigger wheels and the smaller wheels.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's like, okay, we're shifting up, it slides onto a different one. Nissan makes the worst version of those.
It was first applied in the U.S. market on the 2003 Murano.
Industrial society and its consequences.
All right, Trevor. Next car.
Next car. Okay, well,
You're gonna
only
say the
have-
name.
you only had 4. And I'm on the 4th. 2008 Chevy Malibu.
This one I
Okay,
don't need
I
to
have
make a
one of
picture
these.
for.
I'm imagining a rusty Jimmy Buffett album. I don't know how albums rust, but this Jimmy Buffett album has rust.
I
on it.
would beg to differ, and I'm a bit
Look,
insulted.
Okay, the V4 is so goddamn reliable. I fucking hate the car.
Force-
I hate it so much.
It's an Ecotec, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, Ecotecs, I will admit, are pretty damn reliable. My old Malibu used to have that.
Okay, my stereotype for someone who drives this Malibu is they're very loud and they've blown out every speaker they've owned.
First off, I'll have you know I haven't blown a single speaker. The
Yes, you
speakers
have.
came like that.
Trevor, may I remind you of the Skull Candy headphones you had?
Yes, but that was for fun. That was intentional.
Yes.
Also, to be fair, those lasted 5 years. Those skull candies, those shitty $50 skull candies, those lasted all the way through high school.
My brother in Crunch, you haven't owned a speaker you haven't tried to ear rape.
Yes, but they all survive.
Barely.
Barely. I'll pull out my JBL Flip 4. I'll pull it from upstairs,
Yeah?
and I'll blow your fucking eardrums, and not in like a good way.
Trevor,
Metro
we put
Boomin'
metal
Boom.
dice on top of that.
Yeah, and it's funny, and they scutter everywhere.
Didn't we stack quarters and
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
crank
we
them?
put a bunch of pocket change on it, and it threw them everywhere like a sort of financial volcano.
Who was trying to sleep when we did that? Because someone woke up very angry.
Sheldon.
It was.
Oh, it was
It
Sheldon.
was Sheldon. That
Yeah.
makes sense. My
Anyways, this isn't car. 2008 Chevy Malibu.
2008 Chevy Malibu. Very loud individual who likes to penny pinch.
Look, in all fairness, this car, I guess it depends really, because the engine size. Because the V6s are kind of terrible. The V4, however, 211,000 miles as of recording. And that thing is still basically brand new. Not really, kind of.
Brand new?
brand new.
Brand new.
It's still kicking. You know what? The perfect car to get from point A to B with no glamour, no shiny whistles, no baubles, no trinkets. Just straight fucking naturally aspirated acceleration.
It's not naturally aspirated.
Trevor, the copper short sword in Terraria is more reliable than your vehicle.
Shut up. You don't even have a car, man. Oh.
Are we going to talk about the surging that your car does?
Oh, it's fine.
No, it isn't.
Can we
It's
talk-
only between 35 miles
gonna
per
talk
hour
about
and
the
40 miles
springs?
per hour.
On your car?
Okay, it's an '08. That thing is literally I'm almost legally allowed to fuck it. That's how old it is.
Trevor, can we
That's
talk
disturbing.
about how every month we ask the question if it will last another month?
Look, that's only because it's a GM product. If it was a Toyota of some kind, we wouldn't be having these
Okay,
questions.
but the thing is, it was made prior to 2014, which means it's going to last for a decent amount of time. Roughly around 2014 is when GM started making their crap, and it's gone downhill ever since.
Did you guys hear that Boeing is teaming up with OpenAI to make the first self-driving airplanes?
yeah. I'm sure that's. You know what? Never mind. Too hot of a joke.
We just went over this last time.
Oh no, not 713.
Beep. Guys, I'm gonna say a controversial joke. Beep. You know what? It makes sense with what we did in the last episode.
Why did I bring up airplanes?
Look,
Okay,
I'm just saying.
next topic.
OpenAI.
Trevor, you wanted to ask what we wanted if we had a genie wish. I'm gonna turn the topic on you.
Okay.
Answer first. What would you wish for if you had one genie wish?
I could tell you what he wants without him telling you.
Go ahead. You know what? I'll lean back. Take it away.
Because he
Big
said
man.
it earlier.
Ram Ranch.
No, he wants the genie to be pregnant.
No. No,
No, that's what you said earlier.
I'm trolling. I want
you to make her
Trevor,
pregnant.
you would lock eyes with the genie and say, I want to own Ram Ranch from the Ram Ranch songs.
No, the first wish would be unlimited genie blowjobs.
Tommy, you have to think of the
And
downside.
then the other two will be like $5.
Tommy, what's the downside? Because it's a genie.
Okay. You asked for unlimited...
Unlimited genie blowjobs from this specific genie whenever I want at any
you didn't
point in time.
specify that.
That
You just said
that
unlimited
isn't
genie
how-
blowjobs.
So,
Yeah,
so
okay, we're role playing right now.
We are not. No, absolutely not.
Well, you don't.
We're not
You don't have to give me the blowjob.
No, I'm good. I'm tapping out. You know what? I'm gonna
Wait,
let go of
I'm
this
just
wire.
saying, I'm
I'm
just
gonna
saying.
let go of this copper wire right the fuck now and walk out that door.
I'm just saying. Unless.
No.
No.
Okay.
So, your wish is
Unlimited genie blowjobs from this specific
no,
genie.
no,
didn't
no. You
specify.
didn't
Fine,
specify.
whatever.
You
I
said
wish for
unlimited.
unlimited genie blowjobs.
Okay.
That's what you said.
And then you said you'd wish for $5 and then $5.
Yes.
Okay, so the genie locks eyes with you, and, well, listen,
And then he gives me unlimited genie blowjobs.
everything is unlimited if it kills you.
Okay, so I'm gonna get the best genie head ever, so good that it kills me.
No, the genie is going to technically give you head and then kill you. You're not going to climax. Blue balls for all of eternity, Micah. And you know the worst part? You never get to ask for the $5, Clay.
I'm gonna have to fix that.
Hey, it wasn't my fault this
Okay.
time.
I was memeing for that one, okay? What I'd actually wish for?
Is for the genie be pregnant, we know.
Yes.
What the fuck's
already
wrong
said
with you
that.
guys?
You've already
What the
said
fuck's
that.
wrong with you? This is what you said
This is what you wished for.
pre-show.
Okay, yeah, I thought it'd be funny. I was just trolling. I was thinking of the stupid Twitter post where like someone posts their art and then they're like, "Now draw her pregnant" or something like that. Anyways, what I'd actually wish for. Okay, ready for this? 3 2008 Chevy Malibus.
God damn it.
And then I will never need to buy another car again. I'll just cycle through them. They're so reliable.
You get the cars, but when you pop the hood, instead of an engine, there are 3 hamsters and a book about airplanes.
There's nothing has changed except for the book, I guess. Why is the book in there?
Why
Asking
is
for
the
a
book
friend.
in there?
Genies are strange and chaotic creatures. Understanding their motives is beyond our comprehension.
I would wish for $1 billion USD in dollars and not the doll hair thing, without it affecting inflation in any way, sourced from non-existence. It pops into existence right in front of me.
They all have the same serial number, all the bills.
Oh.
So they're marked out as counterfeit, and you spend the rest of your life in prison.
Okay, I roll it back, and then I wish for them to all have unique serial numbers that have not been printed yet. They're also made out of authentic currency.
There's
or
one
authentic
too many
paper.
digits on the serial numbers, and they're obviously really good counterfeits. That way the numbers have never been printed before. But there's one too many digits.
If I'm being completely honest, I could probably spend this before anyone notices, so I'll just launder it. It's fine. In Minecraft.
We're not gonna get $1 billion genie dollars unless we're playing Minecraft.
$1 billion genie dollars.
Hmm.
Is that different from US dollars?
I wish for all the powers that, I don't know, Saitama has.
Saitama's only power is hard work. You now gain the ability to work out, which is something you already had.
Yeah, but
you
like,
don't have the willpower.
okay,
to
but
be
it doesn't.
Saitama.
It doesn't scale like that. It doesn't scale like that. Okay, and then for my third and final wish.
You've made 5 wishes now.
Oh yeah, but those first 3 wishes I was just trolling. I was memeing. I was having a joke.
No,
Pulling
you've
the
made
genie's
you've
metaphorical
made,
leg.
if you count the first 3 wishes, you've made like 8 total wishes. But go ahead, pretend that you haven't. Make your last wish so we can pass this on to Spence.
Genie blowjob again.
You ask for a single genie blowjob.
One singular genie blowjob in this moment up to climax.
Okay.
And I survive. I need to specify that.
Is that how you phrase the wish?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just have a blowjob from the genie, please?
The genie looks at you and contemplates the stipulations of the wish. And rather than going through with it, smiles at you and says, "Wish granted. The blowjob will come to you in your sleep, and you will wake up with sloppy pants."
You know what? I'm okay with this. I won.
Did you, though?
I got $1 billion that I can theoretically launder.
And a wet dream?
Yeah. Honestly, that's enough for a man like me.
Oh, and also some 2008 car frames, I guess.
Nah, I could scrap those. Add like $600 to my $1 billion.
That's how you launder it.
Yeah. That's great. Okay, what about you guys? Now I've been hogging the mic. Spence, what are your 3 wishes? Are they also genie blowjobs?
No, and in
Genie
fact,
foot jobs.
the first thing I do is throw this lantern away, or lamp away.
Do you not trust the pagan god?
No, I don't trust genies at all, because I know how they can turn your wishes, and then even if they don't, even if they do follow your wishes, like if I were to say I have $1 million, they would give me $1 million. Haven't you ever heard those parables of people just saying that they were better off without the wishes?
I mean, yeah.
So I take on that and say, no, thank you. I don't care.
Well, those
about
people
the
are
wishes.
corrupt, unlike me. I just wanted a genie blowjob.
I don't want the
And
wishes.
$1 billion.
Okay. $1 billion. Maybe
Because
I just wanted to invest half of it and take my girlfriend somewhere nice. I could be Mr. Beast! Mr. Beast!
So I'm throwing the lamp away and
Okay.
not taking any wishes.
Lame. Not even a single genie
Sorry.
blowjob.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
If
Mental-
unless
You brought him back to the table
No.
with the blowjob.
No, I'm just going to say for the bit, if I had for the bit to make 3 wishes. All right, 3 wishes.
who's the superhero from Megamind? The one with the black hair. You know that meme when he like walks away, like out of the tower, and then he comes back and just goes.
Oh, you're
Like
talking about
he looks
Markiplier?
Yeah, animated Markiplier, basically. He looks longingly back. That's him coming back after hearing about genie blowjob.
First one is to have the ability to fly like Superman, but still being human.
The genie looks at you, smiles, and says, "Wish granted." You can now hypothetically fly like Superman while still being human, but because you stipulated you're still human, the G-forces will probably
It would shred
kill
you apart.
And learning how to fly like that will be a tough and difficult process, but one you could hypothetically survive.
Superman's not a
If you fly
0
like
to
really
1,000
slowly.
quickly.
Yes, he is. He can literally revert time.
Well, yes,
'cause he
but he
moves
can
that
also
fast.
just float in midair and slowly like hover towards people.
Okay, you're a hovercraft.
I mean, honestly, goals.
Not as good as the genie
If
blowjob.
you try to go too fast, though, you will just black out and kill yourself.
Okay, so I just don't go too fast. Easy.
Maybe.
I still have the ability to
Yes.
fly.
Like I said, the genie also made it so it'd be really hard to learn. So every time
Yeah,
you
it's
try,
not
you have
not
the
innate,
chance
you
to
know.
kill yourself.
Anyway, all right. Now, wish 2.
Well, I wonder what it could be.
Get the controlling amount of shares in the Caterpillar Corporation, so I can be a major shareholder.
It's awfully niche. Why?
You
Because
become a major shareholder, but because you have no economic background, Caterpillar's confidence in the stock market immediately collapses and the company goes bankrupt within a week.
What? You failed a major corporation and your stock is worthless.
Impossible. They're a Fortune 500.
You could have just gotten a genie blowjob.
I don't want a genie blowjob. I want something I can skim money off.
Not everything in life is about money, even though, yes, I did
Didn't
wish
you
for
just
$1 billion.
ask about-
That's why it was only one of 3 wishes.
The genie controls the timeline, my guy. It can make it so it never was a Fortune 500 company before crashing it.
All right, and the last one is a new hoodie.
The genie will look at you, smile, and go, ah, yes, a new hoodie.
And then you get a new hoodie, right?
But with monkey hands.
I mean, it was stolen.
There's blood all over it.
The hoodie is brand new and unused, but it was stolen from somewhere, so I guess don't get caught.
The hoodie was worn by a mass murderer that is still on the run, and it is currently the major moving point for an investigation. You are currently wanted by the FBI.
But it is brand new.
But it is brand new.
And it's a hoodie.
And it's a hoodie.
Also, we live in the middle of nowhere. Fuck. Has an FBI agent even come to
This
place?
hoodie is somehow very recognizable. It's just I'm not sure how.
It just says on the back, I'm the killer.
I did it.
It says something absolutely bombastic, like bumbleclot.
Anyway, Tommy, your 3.
Yeah, what would you wish for? And I'll corrupt it.
Okay, I look at the genie and I wish...
The genie looks like me.
Hi, genie that looks mildly like Trevor. I wish for a different genie which will grant my wishes happily and will not corrupt or twist them in any way.
You can't ask
yeah.
for more wishes.
Yeah.
Well, do I waste the wish? Or...
Yep.
Okay.
Instantly.
Well, I'm the genie, right? I'll be like, you can roll that one back, but don't try and play any funny games, kiddo.
No, what you have to do is you have to...
If you wish for a genie blowjob, you get 4 wishes, actually.
No,
God damn it.
the first question is to be able to run through a wish before you wish it, and he has to tell you what he will do to the wish. So that way you can like go through it and min-max what you're going to wish for.
Yeah. Hey, genie.
Yeah.
I wish from this point forward to experience the greatest luck imaginable in any circumstance.
You wish granted, but you now have monkey hands.
Wait, what does that have to do with me being lucky?
It's a side effect. You're
All right,
lucky, but
here.
now you have monkey hands.
The genie looks at you and smiles and says, wish granted. You are instantly eviscerated and pulled out of existence because what's to come is far worse than that.
I can die peacefully.
We'll say you respawn because this is a hypothetical and you have 2 wishes now.
I respawn after my good fortunes eviscerate me and tells me that there's nothing better in the future.
Yes.
Nah, I'm good. I don't need a win.
Oh, okay. You forfeit the other 2?
I come back to life. I put a gun.
You go out like Kurt
This
Cobain.
has gotten so dark so quick.
The
Holy
genie
shit.
just promised me with omniscience that my life is going to be the worst thing imaginable, and not even his powers can save me from that. I'm good. I'm checking out.
I mean, to be fair, his powers did save you.
I'll
It brought you to another plane of existence by killing you.
I'll punch my ticket.
Kurt Cobain. POV.
Okay. You got 2 wishes left.
No, he's got 1. That's the second.
All right, hear me out.
Go ahead, Bumbleclot.
I wish, no matter how hard things got, I could smile.
The genie looks at you, and he pulls the corners of his mouth up in a wide, birthing grin, and your lips follow suit. In fact, your face contorts and stretches. Your smile meets the ends of your eyes. Your face is contorted to permanently be smiling. It is extremely painful.
Society.
Why so serious? And my 3rd wish is that I could beatbox. Why so serious?
Spence, will you cut the beatboxing, please?
No.
Nope, that's staying in.
Oh, god damn it.
Okay,
Alright.
okay. You have
Ever
one more
since
wish.
last episode, everything's staying in minus the cup clinks.
Okay, you have one wish left.
No, he used all three.
Yeah, I got all three.
Oh, because
The luck.
well, yeah, the luck, and he got
And then-
instantly killed.
Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
If I get one more wish, I wish the Holocaust never happened.
Oh, wish granted. There are 6 million people that spawn back to life instantly. Economic stability has collapsed even further. We are in the midst of an everything scarcity.
My brother in Christmas. There's no earthly way 6 million people collapse the world's economy. That many people get born every day.
Would that mean that
Maybe
Israel
not
ceased to
globally.
exist?
We'll say they respawn back on where they died. So Germany is having a really tough time with their economy right now because they need to,
hold on.
They need to
They
introduce
respawn back where they died?
No.
Yes.
So the concentration camp memorials just get immediately filled and
yeah, they start clipping through the walls and shit.
Quick question: If that didn't happen, then would Israel not be a thing? Because Israel was given to the Jews after World War II as like a place for them to settle.
I mean, I guess if the Holocaust never happened, I guess if the Holocaust never happened, it's possible Israel never happened either, but...
I mean, they would just be scattered around Europe like they were pre-World War II.
Maybe.
Because the thing is, 6 million weren't just in Germany. That was pulled from like all corners of the then empire of the certain people we're not going to specify the name of, with the master of them being the funny mustache man.
Yeah. I mean, so, yeah, also, it's not the end of Endgame. Like,
No, like
making
they could probably figure it out, but it's going to be a big issue.
making 6 million people appear does not erase an event happening. So I sue the genie for $1 billion because he didn't give me my last wish.
The genie shrugs, gives you a blowjob, and then pops out of existence.
Next topic. Can somebody PewDiePie clap for me because I'm holding the copper wire
Next
that's electrocuting
topic.
me?
Next topic.
Thank you.
Don't do that. That's going to confuse me in editing.
Note to future Spence, those claps are good. Exactly those ones.
Can I get 5 big booms for Spence
We're not the
editing?
Costco guys.
What's our next topic, dear Lord?
Oh boy. Okay, Spence.
Hello.
Our last 2 topics relate to characters and protagonists. So I'm going to pass it over to you. You said you wanted to talk about silent versus vocal protagonists in video games.
Okay, so listen to this here.
Listening.
Or is it better that a character talks during the game? Is it better to have someone that you can physically put yourself or mentally put yourself into their shoes so that it's you in the game? Or is it better to have an actual person with personality that interacts with the world around them?
Okay, hear me out. I think it completely depends on the game.
Absolutely. If I'm playing like any multiplayer game, realistically, something like COD, obviously I don't want to be a specific character. I want to be me.
Really?
Well, yeah,
Because
like
like Overwatch, you're playing a specific character.
yeah, but
so
in
you
Overwatch,
definite-
it's like it feels different.
Okay,
you know what I
took
mean?
a really big general multiplayer.
Yeah, you said any kind of multiplayer game, and it's like League of Legends, TF2,
I should elaborate a bit further.
Overwatch. Like, a lot of them have characters with voice lines that talk. Marvel Rivals is
Well,
huge right now.
The mechanics of those games support the characters having personalities and being unique because they're specific to those characters. In COD, you can load up with literally any weapon, any loadout that you could imagine. It's not specific to a character. I think the mechanics play a big role.
So, the best 2 topics, or the best 2 examples I can say of this. So, first one is Roach from Modern Warfare as the silent protagonist, and Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed Black Flag as the vocal protagonist.
Hear me out. I like Red from Pokemon as a silent protagonist, and Geralt from The Witcher as a vocal.
Okay, I mean it's just examples. I'm not, but yes, those are good examples as well. Do you think
God of War would not be the game it is without Kratos.
I think it could be, actually. I think God of War is an example where if you modded the God of War story for Kratos to just go mute after the ashes of his dead family cling to him, and he has to, through body language and grunting, navigate social circumstances for the following games.
But
That
then
makes
he
sense.
can't
I feel like
scream,
it'd fall apart.
"Zeus!"
I think it'd fall apart in 4, though, because, his kid.
I don't think
But his
so.
kid and him go...
I think Kratos would indicate...
That's disgusting out of context.
I think Kratos would
Clip
indicate
that.
positive and negative.
Input.
I think Kratos would indicate positive and negative via some good voice work.
Yeah, so... versus...
No.
No, he's not a hentai character. But, I mean, if you want to talk about things kind of breaking down in God of War 4, Kratos does have such a prickling personality. Boy became a meme for, years after it came out.
True.
Because he
Boy.
spoke too much, and, what was it, 20% of the nouns in that game were boy?
Dude, I took a tally. Hold on. Let me
You have do you have it on hand? What a Sigma.
So
I was not prepared
I
for
had-
boy tally.
I had it, but I don't think I have it.
I do think silent protagonists can sometimes cause a bit of a ludonarrative clash. The way I think about it is the Dragonborn in Skyrim has no voiced lines,
Mm-hmm.
but the shouts are all voiced, and the shouts always sound like a human dude is speaking them.
Yeah, when you could play as
you could literally be a female
a
Khajiit,
Khajiit.
and your
It would
voice
sound
should have
"Ugh!"
a bunch of
Ugh.
S's and should be feminine, and then you just speak with this grown-ass dude's voice.
Maybe the dragon
So-
coming out of you is just a grown ass dude.
So, back to a previous subject. Kratos says boy approximately 107 times. Also, by that logic, back to the dude voice coming out of a girl, do you think that the dragons, one of them could be a woman? Do you think Parthenax could have been a woman, but the voice of the Thuum makes him sound manly?
Actually, all the dragons in Skyrim are canonically male, and we have no idea why.
We don't know that. Have you
It's
seen their
confirmed.
genitals?
No,
Have you
there's
seen
no
the Dragon
revealing
Balls?
physical factors, but it's confirmed.
Have you
They're
seen
male.
their Dragon Balls?
it's confirmed in the lore that they're all men.
Have you
and
seen
we
the
have
Dragon
no
Balls?
idea why. I have not searched for the Dragon Balls, but let me tell you,
I know Slimesicle did.
if you find all the Dragon Balls, Trevor will lick them and grant you a wish.
Not the Dragon Balls.
He's
Unless
dragging
we're
his
talking
balls.
about you dragging your balls across my face. I'm straight. I'd like to get that out there. I make these comments because I think they're funny.
Trevor is the gayest man I know.
Yeah.
Look, in all fairness, he just went, yeah.
Deflecting.
Denial.
Deflecting. I thought Cars was a few topics ago. That looked like a dodge to me. That wasn't that good, but I appreciate it.
So,
Your views will not shake me just because I wished for some genie blowjobs. And I offered some genie blowjobs doesn't mean anything.
Dude, you're the one who decided the genie was a guy. It could have been a woman genie.
He's
but
got
you said him.
He's got a woman mouth. I don't know.
Like, no one said the genie was any gender, and you just were like, ah, yes, he's gonna give me a blowjob. You're the one who added that. It could have been a female genie.
Look, I'm gonna keep it $1.50. A dude knows the way around a shaft better than anyone because they have one.
anyway, to wrap up a topic,
So, silent protagonists.
if you had to choose between the two, and I would go
Forewarning, I am
specifying
straight.
single player, a single player game, not multiplayer, Would you rather have a game with a silent protagonist or with a vocal protagonist?
The vocal.
Oh.
Overall, I think there's
Would you
exceptions.
rather fit yourself into their shoes, or would you rather them have a personality and interact with the world?
Sometimes them being silent is the personality, though. That's why I wanted to talk about Red from Pokemon, because despite a bunch of other player characters showing up as, like, reference characters in later games, they all have lines, and even though they were silent protagonists in their respective games. But Red has never said a singular word. Not once. Not ever. And that's just a really funny ongoing joke. Because when there's this hidden end boss in every Pokemon game, and it's just the first Pokemon protagonist, and he shows up and he's just ...
Menacing.
And then you fight him. It is a little scary. It's a little menacing.
Is he in every Pokemon game?
Well, he's in most of them. He's been in the Battle Tower since Black and White 2. He was a hidden boss in Gold and Silver and Crystal. I don't think he was in any of the Gen 3 or 4 games, but I think
he wasn't in Hoenn or Sinnoh?
He might have been in Gen 4's Battle Tower, but I don't think so.
I see.
I do know that after Black and White 2, he's been in every game's version of the Battle Tower. But that's besides the point. I just want to say, sometimes being silent can be a personality. I think it just sort of clashes from time to time with what you're doing in the game. Like, if your character feels like they should be talking, then it can kind of suck to have a silent protagonist. But likewise, if the game is about you stepping into the main character's shoes, and they often say things that you absolutely do not want them to say, like in every BioWare game, then suddenly it's, you kind of wish you had a silent protagonist,
Fair enough.
Yeah, I get that. I don't like the idea of having a silent protagonist to self-insert people, because that kind of just takes away storytelling potential. But if it complements the character, then it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the best case scenario, if you had to pick just one, is
God.
You don't want a silent protagonist. You want a quiet
Popped your
protagonist.
neck. It sounded like fucking reality itself shattered.
Reality can be anything I want it to be.
You are Father Time.
10,000 years can give you such a kink in the neck.
Kinky.
Skylar, I am the king.
God damn it. All right.
Jesse, I'm fucking kinky.
Final point. Sometime I think the perfect marriage between the two. I think if you had to pick just one, you'd probably pick speaking protagonist, but have quiet protagonists be really common. Characters like Master Chief, where they have like 5 lines of spoken dialogue in a game.
Uh-huh.
Or like Doom Guy.
Yeah.
Bro he's spoken, but that was in the DLC for Eternal.
He spoke.
Yeah.
He says some things sometimes, but not usually.
No.
So,
Trevor? Your thoughts? Do you agree?
Well, I kind of gave my thoughts on it overall. I think silence in a character can really complement them if that's the aim for that character's writing. But having a character be silent just for a self-insert kind of has a sort of, how do I put it? It has a negative effect on the storytelling itself.
So you don't think being able to put yourself into their shoes and feeling like you're in the game is a negative?
I think if someone's writing a character and they're specifically writing them silent, not because it complements the character as a character, but so people can feel like immersed as themselves, then I think it kind of has that negative effect.
So do you dislike the protagonist for the Subnautica or the Portal games?
Yeah, kind of.
Really?
I kind of do.
Huh.
I feel like it would be cool if, maybe they had at least a bit of identity,
I kind of feel like the games are more immersive when the only spoken dialogue is yours or your robot overlord. We stand GLaDOS in
No.
this household.
Well, no, isn't
Now-
the Subnautica character named?
He
The
is.
Portal character is also named.
She's also named, but the thing
Her
is,
name is Chell.
Okay, in all fairness, to justify those ones are silent because they have no one else to really talk to.
well,
Chell could
Chell
always
talk
reply to GLaDOS.
Okay, my bad.
or to
Sorry.
Wheatley
Or to Wheatley.
if you're in the second
Shell's
one.
a bad example, but like the Subnautica character has literally no one to talk to. They are just isolated.
Yeah, if I was isolated, I'd talk to myself, though. So by your logic, they should have a bunch of spoken dialogue. Maybe they should even make meme and pop culture references when they see the squid's
Maybe
approach.
not. I'd hate that. Look, I think
See-
it makes sense in that situation.
See, dialogue always ages, though, even when it's not, like, obligatory references. Whenever you play Subnautica, it's always going to feel like a different and fresh experience because you're playing the game and the character's not speaking. But if the character starts speaking, and then you want to show that game to your grandkids
the
in
character
50...
says skibbity toilet.
and if you want to show them the game in 50 years, and they say something that fell out of favor a long time ago, or
like,
phrase,
what the hell is this, Grandpa?
or phrase something in an old-timey way like they do in black and white movies, it breaks immersion.
See example, Subnautica versus Subnautica Below Zero, because in Below Zero, the main character, she speaks.
She does.
She does talk.
Worst game.
Because she talks with, I don't remember her name, but I do remember the,
Kill. You know,
Yeah.
that's my third wish.
anyway. I'm sorry. Hey, my thoughts on it is, I like the silent protagonist, but I prefer the vocal protagonist. I would rather it be I'm listening to a story of a character in a world than me being in the world.
I get you, but for every Kratos and for every Lara Croft, and you said Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed, for every one of them, we do get the guy from the Devil May Cry remake that everybody hated.
That is fair. It all comes down to dialogue of the character itself. And I'm not saying that I don't like silent protagonists. It's just that if I had to choose, I find myself enjoying more games with vocal protagonists than ones with silent ones.
Well,
Even though Subnautica is one of my favorite games of all times.
I do actually have another question
Yeah.
about one of your favorite games of all times.
Yeah.
Doesn't the protagonist in Shout of the Colossus remain silent for your entire playthrough?
That's a fair point. For the most part, he is, but he does also talk every so often. Now, he will call for his horse, and I really think that that's one of the only times he actually speaks. So, but the thing is, when you're in the middle of a fight with a Colossus, he'll just start screaming, "Arrow! Arrow! Arrow!" or whatever the horse's name is. And so, I would originally say that hearing him talk is kind of like Master Chief talking, where it's important that he's saying something, but the only thing is he's calling for his horse.
It's aggro.
Aggro, thank you. It's been a long time since I need to go back and replay
I think
that
his
game.
name is Wander, by the way. I think it's aggro and Wander.
Yeah.
I haven't played. Sorry.
It is. You're missing out.
You've
You're
got
missing
to.
out.
The vibes
so
are
bad.
immaculate. The boss fights are better than in FromSoft.
But the thing is, you have to play original PS2.
Why? Isn't the remake just better?
It's somewhat better. The controls are more janky in the remake.
So it's like Twilight Princess on the Wii.
Sure, let's go with that.
That game is simultaneously the edgiest and the least Zelda game. And I will stand by that. And I don't mean edgy as dark, I mean edgy as in trying to be dark, because there are Zelda games that are just darker, like that fucking moon just crashing into the world and like apocalypsing things.
Majora's Mask.
That's
Absolutely
dark.
ominous.
That's dark, that's ominous, that's evocative. But like Twilight Princess is like you turn into a wolf.
You turn into a dog. You got Link literally has that dog in him.
Funny enough, I do have the Twilight Princess for the Wii. and I bought it as a novelty because it was also like $20.
Link found the genie, and Link wished to have that dog in him. This is not what he wanted.
He wanted that
Now he
dog
literally turns
in
into a
him.
Dow.
The dog in me has been euthanized.
Link asked
There
for
are two
more
dogs.
lines of spoken dialogue, and the genie looked at him and said, "Wish granted,"
Barf,
and
barf.
turned him into a dog so he could bark. He asked to be a speaking protagonist.
He can talk like a normal person in wolf form.
He can?
Yeah.
I mean, Link can talk. It's only a like out of universe gimmick where he goes, "Yeah, ha, yeah."
Look,
In
bro just
canon,
needs
he's
laxatives.
always been able to speak to people. It's just they never speak his lines in the
Yeah.
games.
All right, what's our next topic?
All right, our last topic for the night before Spencer sends us off with the tub wench is
There's
what
an actual wench in the tub.
what makes an unlikable character versus a likable character. And I wanted to bring this topic up because I've recently been watching the new Devil May Cry anime on Netflix. And it's like Castlevania is one of my favorite Netflix shows, and it might be one of my favorite animated shows. Its season 1 is definitely better than all of its other seasons, but it's still got pretty strong character work all the way through. And some of the fight scenes are cool enough that you can kind of ignore some of the bad writing. But Devil May Cry, same creators, similar writer, created by a different guy though. They were like, hey, here's another video game like IP that's been floundering for a while. Let's make a show based off of it.
The rights to it are cheap. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I mean, the Devil May Cry games are like perfect to make a movie or show out of because the protagonist in Devil May Cry is like this, you know, very likable, carefree, kind of like badass dude. He's just got a sword and 2 guns, and he likes to eat pizza and do absolutely nothing, and people just constantly drag him into epic quests to save the world. And
Sounds
so
about right.
to
He
cure,
just like me.
to cure boredom, he styles on them. You get points for killing your enemies with style, not for like killing them
It
and
goes hard as fuck.
a limited amount of health or whatnot. And that as a show concept works just as well. The main problems with it is they've added a bunch of things that weren't in the games, including a character who's just like the best at everything for some reason.
Power creep.
The main character Dante loses most of his fights, the side characters win most of theirs, and the dialogue is very pop culture referencey, you know?
Have any of them said
Ew.
skibbity toilet yet?
No, but this guy was on an airplane with a fire demon and a wind demon, and they were both trying to kill him.
Uh-huh.
And he said, "Oh, what are these guys gonna do? Make half a Captain Planet?" His first line of speaking dialogue is, "Fuck, normally I have a one-liner here, but I'm rusty today. I guess Skeletor hasn't aged well since the
That's
80s.
so cheesy. I fucking despise that.
And it's sad, too, because Dante, in the games, has always been played like a very badass person. He's not like Deadpool, who makes pop culture references every second. He's just...
Well, the issue is because of Deadpool. Deadpool can be this quippy one-liner
reference.
or what's the term of them knowing that they're in a
Fourth wall breaking?
yeah, basically.
It's very
Being-
abstract is what you're getting at, basically.
Being something like that and how popular they got, and then they're like, "Oh, let's replicate that with popular IPs."
I mean, technically it started with Will Wheaton and, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but, like, Deadpool popularized it for sure. I guess it's like, I want to know, in your guys' opinions, what makes a character unlikable versus likable?
I think a character is very unlikable when it doesn't fit into the story that's being told. Kind of like your example. It's like, so Dante's a badass, right?
Mhm.
The characters that he surrounds himself with are probably at least kind of badass in their own right, right?
Generally.
So one of the least badass things you can do is make pop culture quips, because then all of a sudden it feels very modern day Marvel movie-esque, and those are lame as fuck.
They didn't used to be, though. It's like when every movie ever wasn't doing that, it used to be cool to do that.
Yeah.
Not only that, but the Devil May Cry story has already been created. It's a lot easier for a character to be quippy one-liner when there isn't a storyline of that character already in stone,
Also, there
in
needs to be
writing.
context as to why that person's quippy. Like, why are they quippy? What part of their backstory makes them quippy? Are
I
they
mean,
making
so
up for something, or are they just quippy just to appeal to audiences?
so Dante's
Would
Cut
Dante
that,
be
please.
yeah? Would Dante be considered close to being like something like Merc with a mouth, like Deadpool is?
100%. But the thing is, he's never been represented as self-aware or very full of like a ton of pop culture references. You know?
No, I don't know because I have never played any of the Devil May Cry games.
You should. They're
I have
very
the
fun.
storm that is approaching.
Oh, is that what that's from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, same thing with Devil Trigger. The song
Yeah.
Devil Trigger.
oh, yeah. Sorry, like I said, I've never played any of the Devil May Cry games. I've never seen the anime, so I don't know. I don't know who
Forget how
any of
the
these
lyrics
people
go.
are besides things I've learned through pop culture osmosis.
Here, let me put it to you like this.
Bang,
If
bang,
I had to
bang on my devil trigger.
if I had to describe Dante to someone who's never played the Devil May Cry games, I'd be like, okay, imagine you put Spider-Man's personality behind an edgy emo anime protagonist.
Oh my.
So he is very quippy, but he's also very brooding. Kind of like Nightwing or Red Hood energy.
That's a very good description. Yeah.
Okay.
Think Nightwing.
And when they decided to animate the show, they made him into much more of a Deadpool character, and they made him lose a lot more fights that he probably should have won.
Okay. So to go back to what you were asking about, what makes a character bad, I do believe doing pop culture references, they, like we've said in a few previous podcast episodes ago, they're good for the first year or so of making them, and then they become dated. When you start making dated references, it starts to become disliked or something that you've overheard. You don't want to keep hearing it, and then you go back to these movies, and they're making these dated references, and you're like, ugh, jeez, great, more of this reference.
You know what's never a dated reference?
What?
Making a joke in universe.
Yeah. I think that's the main issue when it comes to unlikability. It's just skewing away from like normal character traits. It's like if you have a defined set of character traits that make you or make that character talk or act in a specific way, and then they do something outside of that, it's very immersion breaking.
Like, if he's supposed to be a badass, like you were saying he's described as, right?
Yeah. That's
And
like,
he's getting his ass handed to him?
yeah, half of the reason anybody has ever liked Dante is just because of how cool he is.
And in this new anime, he's being extremely uncool.
He-
Being a quippy one-liner who's losing all his battles.
He does get dogged on a lot, yeah.
Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Character consistency is very important. If it's a character that's been around for a while or has been shown in a lot of mediums.
It's like we were talking about God of War earlier. It's like if they made a Kratos show, and instead of Kratos acting like Kratos, he makes jokes like he's Professor Hulk from the MCU.
That'd be so cringe.
And then in the
That would
first
be so
the
cringe.
first few episodes, he
Oh.
just loses fights to random people without any powers.
Oh, I understand now.
Not even like magical demigods, just like
Random fucking like
a chick with a
mobs.
taser.
A chick with a taser.
Well, technically a taser gun, but yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
Can dodge bullets. Was shown dodging bullets less than 2 minutes ago on screen. Taser
Yeah.
bullets.
Wow.
Dodge lightning.
I mean, Batman can avoid Darkseid's laser. The prep time is between the time he shoots the laser and when it hits Batman.
That's actually interesting because I think competency really does make a character likable, but it can go all the way back around to making them unlikable. Because as cool as it is the first time Batman dodges Darkseid's lasers for some fucking reason, the next time he does something, it's like, oh, yeah, of course he does that because he's Batman. And
Or when he
I
gets
guess-
hit by a random crony, it's like, oh, so you can dodge Darkseid's Omega beams,
I guess
but
it's
you
when
can't dodge a punch.
when the bullshit meter reaches a certain level, it's expected that it stays at that level or at least at a minimum, and when it goes under that, it's just stupid past a certain point.
Well, yeah, but also it becomes hard to like a character who's just like there's no arc. It's flat. That's why a lot of people have an issue with Superman these days. Because Superman should just win every fight he's in. And
But what doesn't?
If he starts losing one, it's like, oh shit, here's a thing that can beat Superman. But
Superman can't really lose.
The magical MacGuffin.
Yeah, you know as a viewer that like Superman will win that fight. So Superman's a less likable character the more fights you see him win because it gets old.
The agency is completely removed.
Yeah. So like making a character too badass all the time does kind of also make them unlikable, right?
He
like,
obviously
in this hypothetical Kratos show we're talking about, if there were like 8 episodes of Kratos just absolutely kicking ass and dogging on everybody in the show, and he's never even kind of challenged, it's like, what the fuck's going on here? Is this One Punch Man with less awareness?
So then it's good to have him challenged, but not being shat upon.
I mean, I think it can also work to have a character just get absolutely shit on.
Constantly? Like in this
Constantly, absolutely. But not if they're an established character, right?
Yeah, so if they're a new character and they don't have a or a working franchise behind them of notable, what's the word I'm looking for here?
What traits?
Appearances?
Notable feats
Okay.
of their previous games. If he didn't have those behind him, I could see him getting his ass handed to him in this new animated series.
And still being likable. I mean, there are characters that have a ton of really great feats, and they're shown just getting absolutely dogged on. Like, Daredevil in season 1 of the Netflix Daredevil show. Like, that's just the whole season is him getting stabbed with knives and just beaten the fuck up by random goons who Daredevil in the comics would not lose to. But he wins often enough and is shown being cool often enough that you can buy that, especially because it's an origin story.
Yeah.
Trevor, they're gooning on the cripple.
Oh my god.
Great job, you're beating
That's
up
it, we're
cripples.
banned.
How does that make you feel?
I think how a character becomes likable, on the other hand, is through humility and change, because not only can we as human viewers relate to that, but it makes for interesting storytelling, because like you said, characters that fall flat aren't very interesting to watch. So a character that goes through change consistently can be very cool.
You can also have a flat character arc, like Doom Guy, Captain America. These are characters that, by the virtue of their existence, never change. But they're cool because they never change in defiance to the situation they're put in. It doesn't matter if Captain America is in World War II or fighting against a government conspiracy. He's always the same virtuous guy who will get back up and fight against the odds.
It kind of flips the story on its head, because instead the environment around them is changing, and the main storytelling point is the fact that they do not choose to change.
Like you would expect anyone else in that situation to change their morals, do something that's not in the original definition of that person.
But you could say for the majority of storytelling, it revolves around watching a character change and grow.
That's right, but it can work in the inverse.
I'm not saying it doesn't. It's
but
just
to watch that one person stand resolute against that change.
Yeah, and it does really, I think making a character from a different medium comes with a special kind of challenge, because you have to realize which kind of arc you're writing, right? Because if you're writing a like God of War show or a Devil May Cry show, and then you think, man, I really want this character to lose really hard in these first few seasons or episodes or whatever, you need to think about the kind of character you're working with, right? Like, has that character ever lost like that before? What would it mean to the people who are watching the show for this character, you know?
I feel that.
Because you're not writing a new character, you're writing an established character. It's kind of like when you're playing D&D, and the DM brings back one of your PCs as an NPC for a later group, right?
Uh-huh.
Suddenly, it becomes about the idea of the character. And you have to kind of be very careful with that, because if they do something that feels out of character for what happened in the last campaign...
And suddenly you're immersion breaking, and we've already went over that's not a good thing to have.
That's right.
Okay, so I would also like to ask, out of the 4 vehicles I listed earlier, which one would Dante drive?
The 2008 Dodge Caliber.
You think he's a Caliber kind of guy?
Well, he does like guns, so it would make sense that he had
that makes sense.
So then he'd be driving the Dodge Magnum.
No. Oh.
I should have included that.
Okay, realistically, though, definitely the Malibu.
Nah, he want to drive a Malibu.
The first time we see him, he's sitting in a bar that has been abandoned for years, eating a pizza out of a box that's several days old, and sleeping on a, sofa that looks like it's been through several divorces, and none of them were his.
So you're saying the Malibu fits that bill?
Those got stains on it.
Yeah.
Oh, just like the Malibu.
Yeah.
It's got
I feel
some
so
questionable
attacked this
stains.
episode.
I feel like...
You guys assume my sexuality, and now you're attacking my
You're the
vehicle of
one who
choice.
gave the genie the male trait.
Hey, Trevor,
What?
it's not a vehicle of choice if you're stuck with it.
It's a vehicle
In
of
this
necessity.
economy-
It's a vehicle of circumstance.
I'm just saying, in this economy, that
In
thing
this
might as well be a Rolls Royce.
Really? Female genies in this economy?
Better pack your bags, bucko. I'm just saying, how many female genies did we see in media?
I mean-
have you ever seen the TV show I Dream a Genie?
No.
Yeah, that's a really
You
old
guys are,
sick...
yeah, of course it's old. The first trait of it is old. No wonder why you would bring it,
It
up
was a
of all
comedy.
people. You
It's a
goddamn
it's a
ancient
sitcom.
fucking tablet.
There's also a female genie in the Aladdin...
TV series, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I'm not
Yeah.
done. I bet fucking cavemen found you buried in the wall like Han Solo after encountering Jabba the Hutt.
Actually, it was more like the Pillar Men from JoJo's.
They just opened a cave and Spence started JoJo posing all over him.
Cue Pillar Men theme. Hi.
I like the
Hi.
idea of someone uncovering you like you're some sort of eldritch horror, and then
I've
you
been
just...
released. Have you ever seen the original Power Rangers when the lady got released from the giant trash can on the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that.
No, again.
I have been released. Time to conquer the earth.
I feel like I was split off onto an alternate timeline, and there's just all these medias you two keep bringing up that I just don't know about.
Here's one that you know. Jin from Ruby.
Oh.
Ruby.
He doesn't have a comeback. I sent him through Nom flashbacks because Ruby was a show we both liked in high school that crashed hard. Really, really hard.
Dude, the season 6 premiere was so terrible. We saw that shit in theaters. We thought it'd be hype. It was not, in fact, hype.
Dude, the series has officially ended now.
Yeah, no one has the license to it. It's drifting in the ether.
It's officially ended now, and the conclusion to the series is Ruby Rose tries to commit suicide and fails to commit suicide.
Wow. Who came up with that one? Why you look at Spence? Spence!
I mean, he was shifting around. Which were you looking at?
Oh no, I was just looking at the time.
Oh,
Yeah, we're going long.
yeah, we're going long. Do we want to wrap things up?
Yeah, we could talk about Ruby a different time.
Or we could not.
Yeah, that's okay.
We could make episode 34 Ruby.
Of course. Of course we could.
We could talk about our favorite dead franchises. So we could talk about Overwatch, Ruby.
Yeah, we'll do that a different time, though.
No,
'cause
on
we're-
episode 34.
Yeah.
I feel like the fans would love to hear that.
Yes. All the fans.
The maybe
All of them.
one of you.
Hey,
Out
hey,
there.
we doubled our
Schizophrenia.
audience.
All right, we have a tub wench.
Hit us
So-
with the tub wench.
You know we gotta end
So-
on one of these, baby.
Once again, for your delectation, I have
Two
some
mics.
words of wisdom for you.
Truly.
So, Confucius say,
Okay.
meeting a girl in park is good. Parking your meat in girl is better.
All right. Well, the wire's malfunctioning.
I've
been
zapped,
copper-
I'm being zapped.
Buzz.
I'm malfunctioning.
Bzz, 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 bzz.
I'm the wire. Aren't you copper?
Yeah, bzz, 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 bzz,
I'm
bzz,
sorry, we
bzz,
didn't
bzz,
hear it
bzz,
thanks to Tommy
bzz,
pressing the
bzz,
blue button.
bzz,
He pressed the blue button.